Welcome everyone to the Live Free or Die state of New Hampshire. Instead of me trying to explain what that motto means, let's let an expert expound on this belief. Juston McKinney is a well-known comedian and also a resident of New Hampshire. Thankfully, he gave me permission to let him explain what it all means.
And the thing about living on the border of New Hampshire and Maine is, first of all, I gotta just say this. I mean, New Hampshire, this state's friggin' crazy. It really is. It's the only state in the country without a mandatory seatbelt law. You take that live free or die thing, we'll too friggin' serious. And New Hampshire, even now, right, with the smoking, you can still smoke, right, in the bars, in Portsmouth, right? Kittery, Mass, everyone's doing away with it. Portsmouth, they're like, no, we're gonna smoke, then we're gonna go to the liquor store, and we're not gonna wear our seatbelt, and there ain't a friggin' thing you can do about it. We're gonna live free or die.
Thank you, Justin. Now moving on. Throughout the decades in America, the state of New Hampshire has often manufactured the most rifles in the entire nation. With that being said, I'm assuming that most residents are armed and believe in protection. Thais are no different than many folks who live in New Hampshire, insomuch as quite a few people here also have guns. Unfortunately, Thailand has one of the highest gun homicide rates in Asia, and almost half of the 10 million privately owned guns are believed to be unregistered. For a brief moment, let's talk about guns. Sadly, this past week, reports came from Bangkok about a mass shooting at the fanciest mall in the Big Mango. Unfortunately, this 14-year-old boy with a Glock went on a rampage, killing 2 people and wounding several others before police finally captured him. Now look at his hat. Both America and Thailand need to figure something out. Any suggestions? In my experience, if you took crazy driving out of the equation, Thailand, for the most part, is a safe place to live. However, let's take a look at some various forms of protection that is seen here in Thailand. On a brighter side, many people say that the Granite State has some of the best antique markets in America. With a population of over 1.3 million, New Hampshire has a largely middle-aged population, which no doubt enjoys the selections. Now let's go back to Thailand. It all started when Dee didn't have enough room to park the car in the garage. Somehow this turned into my problem, even though none of the stuff was mine. Throughout the years, while traipsing through the countryside, Dee had collected old rural Thai stuff that she remembered from her childhood. The garage was full and bulging at the seams. A big closet needed to be built. Dee thought the project would take a couple of weeks. There was plenty of construction materials from previous jobs, so I tried to recycle as much as possible to help lower costs. I decided to place this storage facility next to our pseudo Colorado mountain pond and rock waterfall. It was time to think outside of the box. 3 months later, we ended up with a 2-story closet that is called the Waterfall Museum. Made out of mostly leftovers and recycled materials, the feel is rustic. All right, let's go inside. If you listen closely, you can hear customers. Moving on, let's look at something that I bet you have at home somewhere. It might be in the kitchen or even the garage. Go ahead and take a guess. Okay, here's another hint.
Yes, there's a party going on at Mrs. Betty Martin's house. It's a Tupperware party, and it's really fun. The girls get together and meet their old friends and make some new ones. Then there's a demonstration by one of the Tupperware dealers who lives in your community. Watch her show the way to use Tupperware's patented seal. See? You put the seal on tight, then press down the center and lift the seal a bit at one side. Hear that?
Your guess was correct. It is Tupperware. Earl Tupper was a tree surgeon from New Hampshire when he created this iconic kitchenware in 1947. Truthfully, I don't see a lot of Tupperware here, but there are plenty of substitutes. Funny thing is that I call all of them Tupperware. Much like New Hampshire, and right down the road from D&G is what I call the local dollar store. It seems like every rural town has at least one, so let's take a look at the Chinese version of Tupperware. In keeping with the spirit of New Hampshire, remember Freebird? This is my motorcycle repair guy. Now let's see if we can figure out where he's from. It stands to reason that a state well known for their maple syrup would put a high priority on pancakes.
How fast do your pancakes disappear? Around our house, it's plenty fast.
Right now, I'm in our banana plot alongside the river. I'm fixing to go make some pancakes.
Here is a banana pancake homemade at George's Pizza. Look, it's really good.
Thanks for watching, and I will see you in Maine.